Welcome back, and today we are learning about the correct placement for our concealer. When it comes to concealer, what's your correct placement? This is when I start with my blush first at my concealer area because we are trying a new technique of makeup which is called underpainting. With this technique, before you start off with anything, you go in with a blush, a subtle blush, maybe a pink blush, red blush for dark skin, and it gives you this soft underglow. It doesn't look like you are doing so much. So with the concealer, I first go in the inner corner of my face. I first go in with a lighter shade of concealer, a shade that is 4 times lighter than my skin tone, just to brighten that side of my face, because that inner side is where you can highlight your face. I position it at the outer corner and then the middle side of my face, just to highlight everything. With this kind of look, you go in with two concealers. So the second one is another one that is a similar shade closer to my skin tone, and you pair the two together just to give you a very nice blend. It doesn't look like it is ashy, a very nice. This is the part of your makeup where you need to take your time. You have to spend a lot of time at this part, because if you don't blend it well, you would begin to have a lot of flashback. No, not really flashback, but the makeup will not look nice. Your base work is at this side. You have to blend it well. You have to take your time and blend everything well. Get in the work. Like you don't, even if you don't want to do your brows and everything, you have to really put in a lot of time and a lot of work when you are blending this side of your face. And then, as you can see, I'm not just blending the spots where I'm trying to spread it to give it a rounded look, so that you see where exactly I have highlighted. Yeah, you can see very well where the part of my face where the concealer is highlighting. We would start baking. Here I'm using the airborne powder. This is a affordable, cheap translucent powder you can use for baking. If you don't want, you can use a brush, but then for me, I found that this powder puff thing looks and gives you a very nice finish as compared to the brush, or if you use the brush. So this here, I'm just trying to bake. When you're trying to bake, just don't use too much, because you don't want flashbacks. If you get flashbacks, it's weird, especially when you take pictures. It just doesn't look nice. So you have to be very gentle with the product. As you can see, the places where my concealer was placed, that's the places where I'm placing I'm trying to bake, not only at the concealer area but everywhere, just down, to give it a very highlighted tone to my face. And here I'm just using the translucent powder to try and contour my nose a little bit, and you brush off the excess of. You really don't want the translucent powders to sit, so just take your time and brush off excess powder that you really don't need in your makeup step. Just brush everything off. Take your time and brush everything off. So the next thing is to go in with your powder. For me, I like a no foundation look. Normally, I just use this powder from Fit Me. This is such an amazing powder. I just pray they never discontinue it. So here you can see it's very similar to my skin tone, and that's what you use to bring back your face. I don't know how to say it, but to bring the life back to your face. and then the powder goes to where the concealer area is. If you get the base right, mind you, you don't really have to do much with your makeup. You can go out, have your setting spray on your face, set your face up, and then the beads will look nice. You have to get the base right, or else the makeup will not eat. So here, yes, the Maybelline powder, I think, is the best one I've used from the drugstore line. Okay, I wanted to use a foundation, so I use this one from V Beauty Foundation. I would say I'll give this foundation, I think, a 5 out of 10. Before, I was getting a lot of hyped about it. I used it for some time and I realized it wasn't really as settling as the other foundation. But I think it's the Nigerian version of NARS, but it's a little bit it's not really it, but it's almost at it. So here at the place where you can see dark spots and everything, I know some people's makeup routine, they apply the whole foundation all over their face before they start with their concealer process. But for me, I try to not use a lot of foundation, just the place where it needs you to cover up and then cover up the dark spots. It's just to cover the coverage so that it doesn't feel like you're wearing too much makeup. After my lip combo, the foundation, this was the final look. You can see how the base where I was really focusing on was snatch. It's flawless. The beat is perfectly nice. If you guys want me to do a video on an in-depth tutorial about the lip combo, you can always leave it in the comments below, and don't forget to share this video with anyone struggling with their makeup base.